Oh my god, that was very hard. That I did not notice that I had that many books. That's crazy. They were really heavy and now I'm literally sweating. But anyways, that's besides the point, because today we're gonna be doing a really huge book haul. Honestly, super duper huge. I could not believe how many books I have accumulated over the past 2 months. These aren't just books that I got for Christmas. These are also books that I have accumulated over the last 2 months. Like when we went to Wisconsin for our little road trip, I bought some books there, and then just like going to different places throughout those 2 months. And I wanted to show you guys the recent books that I've gotten, because obviously I've been gone for like, I feel like 3 months. But yeah, let's actually get started because it is a bunch of books. I'm actually gonna divide them real quickly so I can show you guys which ones I did get for Christmas and which ones I just got whenever. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are a lot of books. So let's actually start with the one by John Mars. This one I got at Barnes a couple of months ago. I think this one I just saw because you know how like sometimes Barnes has like little tabs in books where like the employee recommends something and like it has like a little summary of what that book is about, and this one had that and it really intrigued me. And in the back it says a simple DNA test is all it takes, and basically you find your ideal partner. The next book that I got was The Boyfriend by Frida. This one I did read in my last reading vlog, I believe. I don't really remember. Actually no, I took it out of that reading vlog. But our main character, she's just like, she has no luck finding a guy, and so she ends up finding this guy through a really bad situation, like how they meet. She meets this perfect guy. He's a doctor. He's just really charming. He's handsome, all these different things. And then she soon realizes that this guy might be connected to some missing, you know, cases. You follow her through her point of view, and then you follow him through his past point of view and how he was growing up and just like different situations that he kind of like got himself in. So I really like this one a lot. I highly recommend this one. It was so good. The twist at the end was so good. I really like this one a lot. I was actually listening to this one on my road trip with my husband when we went to Wisconsin. It was 16 hours and I was reading this one or listening to it, and even he was also intrigued and he was also following along what he wanted, and when the twist happened he was also surprised. So I really do recommend this one. It's so good, and it's just really fast paced. Like usually with all her books, like I can finish them in one day. So if you just want a really quick read, just pick up a Frida book. They're really fun and easy to read. And then the next book I got was In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This one I got because I know that this was like an OG book talk book. Like people love this one a lot, and I really want to get into like dark academia, and I just think that this one will just be the perfect book to get into. 6 friends, 1 college reunion, 1 unsolved murder. What more can you ask? I think this one is just gonna be so good. Next book, I'm so excited for this one because this one continues a series that I love so much. The first book was so good. The novella, 10 times better. I loved it so much. This is the 3rd book, not counting the novella, of the Crowns of Nyaxia series. This one follows vampires, and our main character, she's not a vampire. She basically lives in this realm where it's just vampires. She's like the only human there. I'm so excited to continue the series. I love this world. It was just so fun. So if you guys do want to read any fantasy, I highly recommend this series. I actually got this one recently. This one's Text by Emily McIntyre. This one is part of a series that's all standalone, so you don't really have to read them at all because they are not connected in any real way. But basically they all follow different like Disney stories and movies, and this one follows The Little Mermaid. There are other ones that follow The Lion King, Peter Pan, all those different ones, and it basically is the main villain's point of view and like I guess like their redemption arc in some way. But they are dark romance. You know, dark romance is not for the, you know, sensitive and weak. You know, they can be pretty hard to read, and there's really sensitive topics. So if you do want to read any dark romance, and these ones as well, I highly recommend looking up trigger warnings because they can very much not be PG-13. But the next book was Monster Romance by Laura Honkin. I love this cover so much. I think this is one of the funnest covers out there. Basically, she's an author. He gave her a 1-star review and she's salty about it. The next 2 books I got because I really wanted to read this author. People raved about this author so much. I actually did read Beartown. I think I gave it like a 3.5. It wasn't my favorite just because people were hyping it too much and I didn't really know why, and when I went into it I was kind of like, oh, really? I don't really get it, because it does revolve around something tragic that happens, because basically in this town all they care about is hockey, and there's this scandal going around with one of the hockey players. You know, like I said, no one cares about anything but hockey, and they would do anything to protect, you know, that. I'm just gonna say this is another book that I would just look up trigger warnings, because there are some scenes where I was kind of like, oh. And then the next book by this author I got, a man called Ove, and I've been wanting to read this one since the movie came out, just because I love Tom Hanks and anything he's in. I haven't been able to actually watch that movie just because I had an inkling that I wanted to read the book first, which obviously I am gonna do now that I got the book. I think that this one just revolves around just a grumpy guy going through life, and like I think he's like, I really don't want to read more into it. I just want to go into it more blindly, especially books like this. Spare Time is another book that I went into it blindly, and I do actually enjoy that I did do that, and I didn't really know much about it, because if I would have known what happens, like the main plot that happens, I would have been a little bit more hesitant to read. So I do want to go into this one blindly as well. So for this book, I mainly got because I wanted to give the author another chance, because I read Rock, Paper, Scissors by her, and I did not like that book at all. I did not like that main male character. He was just, the things that he would say, the things he would do, I was just not really vibing with him. I don't think that that book was for me, but maybe this one will be. Entertainment Weekly says, an insanely twisty thriller. I do love twists, especially in thrillers, and especially when they actually get you. Oh, that's right. Okay, now that I'm reading the back, I remember why I also wanted to get this one. So basically, Amber, she wakes up from the hospital. She's been in a coma for a long time. She can't speak, she can't move. She doesn't remember what happened in her accident, but she has a suspicion that her husband had something to do with it. I think that that's just really what got me and hooked me, so I'm really excited to read this one. And then the next book I got was I Told You This Would Happen, and it's another one of those situations where the employee puts a little tab in it and like a summary, and like it's one of their favorite books. And this is basically like any other thriller. The sister is missing, they don't know why, they're gonna go ahead and go find out where she is, what happened. The next book I got was Next to Kin by Hannah Bonin Young, and this one is the author of Out of a Limb, and that's actually one of the books that I really enjoyed. I wanted to read another one of her books because I could just tell that these are just so fun and just like quick fillers between books as well. And yeah, I just really liked her writing. I want to give her another chance. I saw a lot of people read this one, a lot of people raved about this one. I also don't know what this one is about, but basically this is Gothic Canna, and it's a dark romance. And yeah, that's truly all I know about this book. I did get the actual special edition from Target. An unusual girl, an enigma man, an ancient castle, what could go wrong? I love me some ancient castles, actually. I wanted to get a little bit into sci-fi, especially this coming year, because I'm so in my ways where I don't want to try anything else. I know what I like, I just want to stick to it. But this one's a sci-fi, and I'm just very scared about them sometimes. I feel like sometimes they can be a little bit boring. I've seen a lot of people rave about this one. I think that this one's like a safe bet into this genre. And then another book I got was A Fall of Ruin Wrath. This one I got because I wanted to read more fantasies. Ooh, okay, so in the back it says she lives by her intuition, he feeds on her pleasure. We'll see, we'll see. I actually have heard a lot of great reviews about the author. She is the author of From Blood and Ash, which I do want to get to as well. And then these are some books that I got in our Wisconsin trip. Wait, I actually got two more. I'll get them in a little bit. But starting out, we got Scythe. This one I got at Half Price Books over there. And I think this is like a YA dystopian. And I did read the Shatter Me series. That's another YA dystopian, I believe. But I was actually intrigued by like their whole political system. So basically this follows Cynthia and Rowan, and they're both chosen to be scythes, like apprenticed. And they have no other option but to learn how to, you know, unalive people. And then this one was such a great deal. When I saw this one, I could not believe that I was able to get this entire series for not even the price of one book. Not even. Like, this was like $2 for this entire series. So I did get the whole Hunger Games series. I'm so excited. People were actually surprised that I haven't read the series, and I didn't, just because when it obviously came out, it was so popular. The only way that I could read them was, you know, like checking them out through libraries, and they were always checked out. So I ended up just giving up, and I just never really got the series just because obviously they were kind of expensive. You know, getting a full series is expensive. And then as I got older, I just kind of lost interest in that whole world and kind of like Hunger Games. But I do want to read the series because it got announced that we're going to be getting Hamish, right? That's how you say it. But we're going to get his point of view and his trials. So I'm super excited for that one. My husband actually got me the other book that just came out, the most recent one, which was The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songs and Birds. Obviously this was a movie and it was really good, but nothing can compare to The Hunger Games, so I did want to read them. The next book that I got was the Inca Bog by J.K. Rowling. I got this one also at the thrift store. I got this one simply because I was actually very surprised that she had another book. I just wanted to get it. Why not? It was like $1. And then the last book that I got, oh wait, wow. I got a bookmark. That's so cute. This is The Book Thief by Marcus. I'm not gonna say your last name because I'm afraid to butcher it. It was literally $1, you guys. This book was $1. You can literally go to Barnes still and get it, and it's probably like $18, $16. I got this one for $1. What more can you ask for? Of course I had to get it. The last pile is what I got for Christmas. I'm super grateful for all these books that I got. I love reading and I never thought that I can actually have this whole bookshelves ever. Growing up, I always went to my local library, and even then I wasn't even allowed to have my own library card. I actually had to share it with the whole family, which they never even checked out books. It was always just like movies and stuff, and obviously there's always a limit, and they always ended up just exceeding that limit, so I could only really buy or like check out 1 or 2 books, and it was not a fun time. So being able to escape through books is really what got me through my whole childhood, and I'm just so grateful that I'm able to just read in general and actually own my physical own books. Super grateful for that. We'll never take that for granted. But the first book that I got was Elsie Silver, A Photo Finish. This is actually in an old series. They're just remaking them, and this one I believe is before like the Flawless series. I'm kind of blanking on that series right now, but they all kind of take place in that same universe, and it's obviously like cowboy romance, and I just love Elsie Silver. And then the next book that I got was Daydream by Hannah Grace. I don't know why I got this one. I asked for this one, and it's so funny because I haven't even read Icebreaker. I got to like a couple pages, but then it got really popular on Book Talk. People were talking about it, and I got it because obviously the cover, I did not realize that it was very smutty, and I'm not really a huge fan of that. Like, I don't care for it, but I also, when it's too much, it's too much, you know what I mean? I do want to read the second one. I might just skip Icebreaker and just go to the second one. Nonetheless, I'm super excited. I will 100% be skipping Icebreaker and going to Wildfire, that's what it's called. I did not know these books existed until I came across a TikTok where she read the first chapter of the first book and then the last chapter of the last book in the series, and then I just saw a lot of people just rave about that book, and that really intrigued me, and I was like, wait a minute, I want to read this one. I want to see why people are like in shambles for this whole series. So I got this one myself, and then I got this one for Christmas. This is part of the Ravenhood series. I really don't know what this whole series is about. I don't even know if it's like a fantasy. I don't know if it's a romance. I don't know what it is. I literally just got them because of that. The next book I got was The Wedding People. I mainly got this one because I kept seeing it on Barnes. I was always eyeing it. I'm like, wait, that book kind of looks like it's meant for me. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I was looking at it. This was like around the time that no one was talking about it. It just got released, and I'm just like, I keep eyeing it. I really want it, but we'll wait, we'll see. But basically our main character is going through some things, and yeah, I don't really want to say the beginning because it could kind of be a little bit triggering, but I would just look up trigger warnings. And then the last 2 books that I got, I was so excited. So excited. So I'm currently in the middle of a series that I really love. It's actually just a graphic series. I got the last 2 books that I needed to complete the series. One of my good friends, he has been recommending the series for the longest time. He's been telling me to read this one, and I finally did this year, and it's just one of those books that I wish I could reread again. I know it's just a graphic novel, but it's just something about the series, something about these characters and what they're going through is just so intriguing, and it's just so good. Like, you just get attached to these characters so much, especially our main character. I just love him so much. It's definitely one of the series that I just enjoyed reading this 2024. It's one of those books and authors that I personally really got attached to and really loved. So I'm really grateful and so happy that I got this too for Christmas. It completes my series, and I'm just gonna be reading all of them just at once. Actually, it's a lie. Those were not the last 2 books. I actually got The Striker by Anna Huan. I started this one on my Kindle, but I wanted the physical because guys. I love her. I love her Twisted series. It's so good. This one is actually another series that she's starting, and they actually all are in the same universe. So that's why I love Anna Huan, because she created all these series, but they're all in the same universe. Sometimes you see different characters from, you know, each series, and it's just so fun. I love all of her books. I love this whole universe. It's so fun. So I'm super excited for this one. This one is basically a sports romance. He's a soccer player, and we actually got a little bit of him in a different book in the Kings of Sin series. I believe the last one, we saw a little bit of him in the King of Sloth. He falls in love with his rival's sister, which so excited. I love those. I love rivals. I love when, you know, they're not supposed to be together. They're so good. But yeah, those are all the books that I got. There were a lot of books. I'm so grateful and so happy that I got all of them. I'm gonna have to rearrange them in my bookshelves because it was a lot. I was actually very surprised. I did not realize that I really did accumulate a lot of books. But yeah, enough ranting. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, night, whatever time you guys are watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.